Thanks for tuning back into I Fired My Boss. Today, I wanted to do a quick vlog about how I kind of put my game plan together and some of the important things that were important to me before I knew I'd be ready to fire my boss. And one of the most important things that I did was I made a list. I wrote down what would be 5 game changers, 5 things that would grow my business, that would grow my personal brand, and that would make me sustainable to be able to fire my boss. So I'll do another post another day about the game changer plan, my game changer list. But in order for me to effectively execute that list, there was one thing that was super, super important, and it was my network. And I wanted to talk about building your own network, building your own contact list. And we've all heard a million different things about network. Your network equals your net worth, and it's not who you know, but who knows you. All of those things are perfectly true, but there are a few things that I don't often hear about networks that I thought would be very important to share. Um, if you Google about networking or talk to people, they'll always, give you a list of events that you should go to or places that you should be to meet certain people, and that's all great. But one thing that I have come to realize is that I actually have a very powerful network, and it was a surprise to me to realize something like this because I don't go to seminars to network. I don't go to conferences. But some of the most important people that I have met have come around in different ways. I want to give you 5 things to do to build your network. And it might sound sappy, but all of it is very sincere. I would say before you start going to conferences or emailing people, going to important dinners, trying to sit at the right table, one of the biggest ways you can build your network is to find causes that you're passionate about and volunteer in those areas. Some of my biggest mentors I met because I was volunteering at church or singing in the choir, working at a kids camp. And because it was something that I was passionate about and they were obviously passionate about, we made a connection. And we've been able to take that connection to different fields and areas of our lives. And because we didn't meet in a place where it was very, oh, let me shake your hand, let me tell you all about myself, and give you my card to find out how you can help me, it was more genuine. Those connections have grown deeper and we've become friends. So I would say one of the best places to start networking is volunteering in areas that you're passionate about. The second thing that I would say, some of my biggest mentors and connections have come from bosses, former bosses. So even if you aren't in the position to fire your boss today, do what you do. Do it the best that you can. Your former bosses will be your biggest references. And also spend time with them. When you're in the office, be there. I think one of the best things, I tell people this all the time, the best person that I can ever meet is a genuine person. It is amazing to me to meet someone who is just genuine and present. You know when you're talking to somebody and they're not really there. And so if every day you're at work but you're not there, your coworkers and your bosses don't really get a chance to meet you. But I've had the opportunity to have some amazing positions with some amazing coworkers and bosses, and it wasn't always the boss that was the amazing person. So don't just kiss butt because someone has a title. You never know where people around you are connected. So be present in whatever you do, but especially at work. Some of my bosses have become my biggest supporters, my mentors, and some of my best friends, bosses from years ago. So they're always willing to pass a word along for me or put in a good nomination, a good word, and that has taken me a long way. The third thing I would say as far as networking is to be involved in the community. Just know your community, walk around, get to know what events are going on and who's doing what. And when you're involved, your name starts floating around. People start saying, like, hey, do you know that person? They do this. Oh, you're looking for this? I know somebody who does that. Be involved. Do not just go home and sit behind your computer. Get out and let people know what you love to do. Um, the fourth thing about networking is if you have this great thing that you want to do, you might have to do it free a couple of times. You want to be a clothing stylist, style some people for free. And just tell them to spread the word. You want to be a hairstylist, do a couple of hairdos for free. You never know how far that word of mouth will travel. It is amazing what it can do. The fifth and final piece of advice that I have as far as networking is follow up. I went to a conference for Black Enterprise, the magazine Black Enterprise, and the CEO of the company was saying that over the weekend of that conference, hundreds of people would walk up to him and ask him for certain things. Could he make certain connections or could they talk to him about certain things? And what he said he always did is he was always open to giving his card out and saying, sure, give me a call. And he said you would be amazed at the percentage of people who actually followed up with him and gave him a call. And he would always make a promise to himself that whoever does actually take initiative and follow up with, I will help them in the best way that I can. And I have found that to be so true in my small positions that I hold. A lot of people ask me for a lot of things. Can you introduce me to so-and-so, or can you give me advice about this? And I followed his rule. I just tell people to follow up with me. And no one ever does. So when that one person follows up, it really impresses me and makes me want to go the extra mile to help them with their request. Don't be the person who falls into that stereotype. If you waste someone's time to pull them aside and ask them for certain things or do a 5-minute conversation, at least be willing to follow up with them. Shoot them a quick thank you email. Thank you. You may not remember me, but we talked about this. It was great. I would love to just keep you in my contacts. Or thank you. We talked about this. How can we continue this conversation? Be someone who stands out. So anyway, I won't keep you much longer. Those are my 5 tips on networking, how to build your network, how to stand out. And if you do those quick and easy things, they're so simple. If you do those quick things, I promise that you will be someone who people know and who people spread the word about. So thank you guys. We're on our path to being our own boss and living outside the box. Thanks, guys.